Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Plus. We're bringing you stories from the world of business policy and economy. We'll begin with markets as usual. Markets, the Dalal Street witnessing a heavy sell-off today. Run us quickly through how Sensex and Nifty settled this afternoon.
So Shweta, today the markets opened on a weaker note and Nifty and Sensex, both the headliners, continued to decline through the session, although there was a minor uptick. But Nifty and Sensex closed almost 1% lower in today's session. Now, at close, Sensex was down. At close, Sensex was down about 1.02% at 65,782 levels. It touched an intraday high of 66,000. As you can see on the screen, Sensex is down by 1.02% and Nifty ended 1.05% lower at 19,526 level. Now, Sensex touched an intraday low of 65,431 levels, Shweta, and an intraday high of 66,261 levels. Now, on the other hand, Nifty 50 touched an intraday high of 19,678 and an intraday low of 19,423. The sell-off was broad-based. Nifty Mid-Cap 100 and Nifty Small-Cap 100 underperformed the benchmarks and ended. Nifty Mid-Cap 100 ended 1.33% lower and Nifty Small-Cap 100 ended 1.58% lower.
All right. Also joining us on this show, apart from Suyash, is Rajesh Agarwal, who's the head research of AUM Capital Markets. Before I go to Rajesh, I also want to quickly understand from you, what are the sectors and indices you were tracking today?
Shweta, the sectors and the sell-off was broad-based. Most of the all sectoral indices on NSE ended today's session lower. Now, the sell-off was primarily driven by banking stocks. Nifty Bank was down 1.31%. Nifty Auto was down 1.66%. Nifty IT was down about 0.81% and Nifty Pharma was down about 0.42%. The banking stocks,
all indices closing in red today.
Yes, for sure.
Almost all indices closing in red. Let's quickly get in Rajesh, who is with us at this point in time. Rajesh, appreciate you taking time out. Good afternoon. I want to quickly understand from you, what's hurting the sentiments on Dalal Street?
Good afternoon, and thank you for calling me. We have seen that markets have seen quite a good run-up in the recent past, from March lows to July highs. It was a spectacular run based on my macro data, the FI inflows or something like that, and it was just waiting for a trigger to have some profit booking or some correction. 19,992, which was the recent high or the all-time high of Nifty, seems to be a resistance right now, facing a tough resistance to clear. I think it will act as a resistance for quite some time before some major positive news comes in. And what happened exactly today was it tracked all the Asian and global markets which were slumping, where there was a steep selling across Asian markets. Across the board, sell-off was witnessed after Fitch ratings downgraded the US sovereign credit grade. And this triggered a spike in US yields. Benchmark 10-year bond went over 4%, and that was a trigger which evoked a risk of sentiment. And declines have outnumbered advances in the market. Downgrade of the US market, though, would not have major impact on Indian market as far as I understand. It is unlikely to be a major concern because US economy is now headed for a soft landing and not a recession as market had feared earlier.
So Rajesh, I want to discuss Fitch's downgrading in detail in just about a couple of minutes from now. But before I do that, I also want to ask my colleague Suyash to quickly run us through who were the top gainers and losers in the stock market today.
Yes, Shweta. So, among top gainers, if you can have the top gainers graphic on the board. Yeah, so DB's Lab was a top gainers today's session, followed by Nestle India, which was up about 1.21%. Hindustan Lever also performed well. Consumption stocks, it seems like bucked the trend today. As you can see, Asian Paints and Ultratech Cements also fared well in today's session. Now, among losers, if we can have that graphic also. Hero MotoCorp continued to decline for the second straight session after a 4% loss today. The stock ended about 3.39% lower, followed by Tata Steel, which was down 3.33%. Tata Motors, which saw a decline in sales in July by about 4%, was down about 3.13%, followed by Bajaj Finserv, which was down 2.86%, and NTPC, which was among the top gainers recently, saw some profit booking in today's session and was down about 2.69%.
All right. What explains the fall in Tata Steel stock? Perhaps Rajesh can also weigh in. Rajesh?
Yeah, see, metals have seen a sell-off because of the yen appreciating, dollar index going back above 100, 101, and that's one of the reasons. We have seen crude again inching up, dollar inching up. So that's some of the reasons that might have triggered a sell-off in metal stocks, and not to forget the kind of run-up they have witnessed in the recent past. The profit booking was just going to happen, waiting to happen, I would say. And just a profit booking, I would say, it's not something like a crash, or people should not be scared of this fall. I think this is an opportunity to accumulate.
All right, it's not a crash, it's profit booking. Is it likely to stay on? Are we going to see this happening in the next couple of sessions as well? What are you picking up?
Maybe quite possible. One or two sessions there might be some profit booking further, but since we are in the mid of result season, we might see numbers coming out, and that would play the game going forward. I don't think this US downgrading would be a major factor going forward.
Okay. Since we're talking about numbers that are coming in by the way of quarterly earnings, what are the quarterly earnings we are tracking, Suyash, this afternoon?
Shweta, Ambuja Cements came out with its Q1 numbers earlier in the morning. Now, Ambuja Cements outperformed, exceeded Street's expectation, although it posted a loss of about 38.5%. Now, the loss was primarily due to the base effect, as the component of other income was much higher in the previous in Q1 FY23. So apart from that figure, which was due to the base effect, all the revenue numbers, the EBITDA, the margin have exceeded street expectation, and it seems like the company has done fairly well in the previous quarter. Now, the stock also bucked the trend in today. Although it ended lower, it was down about 0.14% in today's session.
So not too bad there as far as stocks is concerned. And perhaps we're also tracking Wilmar results.
Adani Wilmar is set to be out now. This will be the third company from the Adani stable to report its set of earnings. Now, usually Adani Wilmar is expected to report a good set of numbers in line with most of its peer companies in the Adani stable. So we'll see how those numbers pan out. Another one is Titan, which is also
and
due
in fact,
today.
Yes, we were discussing it in the newsroom. Jhunjhunwala's favorite, Titan, came up with its results. What are the numbers looking like?
So Titan is yet to come out with its results. The expectations are that it will post about a 17 to 18% year-on-year rise in its net profit, from about 793 in Q1 FY23 to about 923 crore. Now, this is according to analyst expectations. We have collated brokerage views of about 10, so they are expecting about 923.2 crore figure as far as net profit is concerned. We also are expected to see a 20% rise in revenue, from about 8,961 crores to 10,723 crores. Now, margin is also expected to go up, but not as much as the figures that you see next to revenue and profit. At least as per the expectations of the brokerage, there will be a slight improvement in the margin from about 13% to 12.77%.
All right, and if Titan lives up to those numbers, I am hoping Mr. late Rakesh Jhunjhunwala would be happy in his grave.